Hi, I'm Tara Rice. I am the founder and pageant director of Miss West Coast Regional Pageant. We are a preliminary pageant to the Miss California USA and the Miss California Team USA pageant system. I chose to become a pageant director because I also come from the pageant background. I've won a few pageants here and there throughout the years, and I really enjoyed how it's changed me as a person, and now it's my job to go out there and inspire the teens and young women to not only be involved with their communities, but to become young leaders. This is what we need in our society today.
Hi, this is Steve Nave. Welcome to Miss West Coast Beauty Pageant. The legendary Leo Rossi, a legend in his own mind. A time.
How you been?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm sure you all recognize Leo. Leo, what are you currently? I know you're now a big producer besides being a star and a writer and everything else. What are you doing right now?
Well, I am executive producer for Hotel Impossible on the Travel Channel, so that was cool.
I understand it's doing quite well.
Yes, it is.
Can you loan me some money?
Yeah, mommy needs a new pair of shoes. She's going to get it, you know. It's good. So I'm looking forward to this.
Of all, yeah. Have you ever judged a beauty pageant before?
No. And my wife said,
Why?
who got you into this? And I said, Steve Nave.
And she said,
Steve
I'm
Nave,
never talking
he's
to
the
him
one that did
again.
it.
I'm never talking to him again.
I said, you want to come with me? She said, are you crazy? She said, I get the chance to look and judge.
That's right. Well, you're a professional. Of all the movies you've ever done, what's your favorite?
Favorite, it's a tie. It's either The Accused or Analyze This.
Yeah. Loved them both. By the way, did you take care of that thing?
The first thing or the second thing?
That's what I said. Leo Rossi, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. You've been acting a long time and done many great parts. What's your favorite part?
I did a movie for Showtime a long time ago called Beauty and Power. Actually, it was called Power and Beauty. They changed the name. That was one of my favorite parts. I liked Eli Stone a lot. The character I played on that was a lot of fun.
I like Species.
funny that.
And I know. Yeah, there was a lot of good dialogue in that.
That was my most limited dialogue to date.
Yeah, but you made a big impact. Big impact. So have you ever judged a beauty pageant before?
I have never judged a beauty pageant before. No, I haven't.
Were
No.
you ever in a? You must have been in a
I was
beauty.
never in a beauty pageant. I was in a modeling search many moons ago.
And you won it?
Model search. I won first runner-up. Yes, I did. I actually did.
I want to know who the winner
to look
was.
for. A wonderful, talented girl named Inez Sastre. It was a worldwide thing, and she was a Spanish actress and model, and she won the first place.
Can I tell you, you have the most gorgeous eyes on the planet. Get a good shot of her eyes. Look at that.
Thank you. That's good falsies. That's what that is.
What do you
You'll see
got?
a few of those today, I'm sure.
What do you got coming up?
I just shot a pilot for ABC called Selfie. I did a little role in that. I just had a children's movie come out called Against the Wild. That came out. I just did another movie with Martin Sheen and Mina Suvari called Badge of Honor. So that's coming out sometime later in the year.
Were you and Martin standing in the same shot?
We were not in the same shot. Unfortunately for me, trust me, it would have been a dream come true, but no, we didn't get to do that.
Listen, I'm so happy you were able to join us, and you were looking absolutely gorgeous. And I hope we have some fun in just a little bit of time.
It'd be great. I'm excited. Yeah.
Being a professional athlete in the NFL for 9 years, and also being a well-known actor, what's your favorite?
Which? Sport? Film?
Film, sport, whatever.
I think the most fun program I ever did was Cheers. I was on Cheers for 2 years. Cliff's buddy down at the post office, so.
Now, you were on that series, and you were just about to be expanded even further.
Right.
When the gentleman that played Coach, unfortunately, passed away.
Yeah, Coach passed away. We had been working on a script. They were going to make Cliff and I roommates because he got in trouble with his mother. And he owed me a favor.
I think a lot of people owe you a favor. Now, you played 9 years in the NFL. What was your favorite team, and do you have a favorite game that you ever played in?
Favorite game? Played with the San Diego Chargers, and I had Player of the Week between catching the ball and running the ball at 1,000. 100. And I got Player of the Week. We played against St. Louis, and Coryell was, as a matter of fact, the coach that year when the Chargers played against St. Louis in San Diego.
Wow, okay. And was Oakland Raiders, what's your highlight with the Oakland Raiders?
Highlight with Oakland Raiders. When I got traded to Oakland, I had to come back and play against San Diego. It's called Payback, and I had a good time.
Do you have any new films or TV shows we should be looking for you on?
Just so you know, you'll be the first to know, too. I'm shooting a commercial this week. I just got the good news, and I got a couple readings coming up this week also.
I've got the lovely and very talented Irene Tsu, a lady that has worked with everyone from Elvis Presley and Paradise Hawaiian Style to John Wayne and the Green Berets and David Niven and Jeff Bridges. What's your favorite part in all that, Irene Tsu?
Well, it's all different. I would say I enjoyed most of them. Elvis, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, you enjoyed Elvis. Tell the story about when you're going down the canal in Hawaii. What happened?
Well,
what did the director tell you guys?
Well, we never rehearsed anything,
Sort of like right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. So I'm wondering when he was going to look at me. He was probably wondering when I was going to look at him. So we never rehearsed, and I looked this way, and he's looking that way, and I looked that way. He's looking this way. So our heads were going like this the whole time.
But it looked great on film. It did, really did. And when you met John Wayne said, what? Let's have a drink. And you said, what? I don't drink.
I don't So stupid. That's what happens when you're a teenager.
You could have been an even bigger star. That was a really fun film, though, to make. What are you currently working on? Have you got any new TV or film shows coming up?
No, I really haven't been, pursuing TV that much.
Oh, really?
No.
Wow. Well, you just did a couple of guest stars not too long ago.
Right, I did, CSI,
CSI.
Cold Case, so on and so forth.
Oh, she only did CSI and Cold Case. I'm sorry. I thought you were doing big stuff. Okay. Listen, we're very happy to have you. Have you ever judged a beauty pageant before?
Actually, I did once. I judged the Miss Nikkei pageant.
Nikkei?
Yes.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
And how was that?
It was very difficult. It's hard work because all the girls are just so gorgeous and got so much going on, and it's hard. You don't want to, I have my favorites picked out, but I may change my mind completely in about 5 minutes.
Well, are you looking forward to the pageant?
Yes, I am. I think it's going to be a great one. I think it's well put together, and I think Tara Rice is fabulous.
I've got Mr. Jimmy Sedghi, who's one of our main judges here at the Miss West Coast Teen and Miss West Coast Beauty Pageant. Mr. Sedghi, tell us all about yourself. What do you do?
Well, I'm originally from Iran. I've been here 50 years.
Only 50?
Only 50. I've been participating in a lot of events. I have had the pleasure of meeting a lot of presidents, kings, queens, and I have been involved in a lot of events, such as this one. And
are you excited to see the young ladies?
Absolutely. I'm very much interested to meet everybody.
Is this the first time you've ever judged a beauty pageant?
No, I've been judged before in different
great.
pageants also.
I'm standing here with Tamara Ballesteros, and Tamara is a person that does all kinds of people's skincare, and she does all the beautiful coloring, and you do stars, and you do everything. Tell us about your company.
I have the company of Chic Mystique Mobile Airbrush Tanning, and I specialize with custom airbrush tanning for celebrities, dance teams, and pageants, of course. I'm all over Los Angeles County. If you are interested, you can reach us at www.chicmystique.com.
Did you do all the girls tanning today on the show?
I did yesterday. I worked
Yesterday.
really hard, got done around 9:30 last night.
I am standing with the gorgeous, one of the 100 most beautiful women on the planet, Katarina Van Derhan, actress, model, and publisher of a very special magazine called Viva Glam. And Tell us about, I know you only work about 20 hours a day, Katarina. Tell us about the magazine.
You know what? I couldn't be more proud of this project because it is making a difference in the world, actually. And we try to inspire people. It's very glamorous, fabulous, uplifting, positive, and many people get inspired, and that's really the goal, you know.
And you're kind of bringing back glamour from the old days, isn't that?
Yeah, you know, I don't think it ever left. It's just people try to tweak it different direction, and it just didn't work. So we just really spin it around the classic beauty and keep it alive. And you know, who doesn't like classic and beautiful and sexy?
Now, when you don't run your magazine, you also act. Don't you have a movie coming up or something?
Yes, amazing movie, unbelievable. Can't wait for it to come out. Amazing team. And you gotta look for it for sure because it's lots of fun.
Yeah, it's called Unbelievable, and you're one of the only actresses or actors in the whole show that's not on Star Trek. There's like 35 actors in Star Trek on it.
Yes, I think there's about 5 of us who are not on Star Trek, yes. And I think it's so much fun. You guys gotta look for it for sure.
Was there a lot of competition to get that job? Yes, there was.
There's always competition. There's always a competition. But you know what? It's just, it's all about stars aligning the right way, the right time, and it happens, you know?
Have you ever judged a beauty contest?
Oh, many.
So this is old hat to you.
Oh, yeah. I go to Europe to judge model searches and beauty pageants here in America. So, yeah.
Katarina, I think we're getting started with the pageant, so I'll see you over at the judges' table, and I'll be up there on the stage talking. Great seeing you.
The founder and pageant director of the Miss West Coast Regional Pageant. And I'm here today with Vanessa Galope, who is the Miss West Coast Pageant winner 2014.
Hi everybody, thank you so much.
So Vanessa, going into this experience, what was your feelings? Did you think you had any chance in winning, and what were your thoughts?
I honestly had no idea because this actually was my very first pageant. So I feel very, very lucky and honored to have won. I had an overall amazing experience. I learned so much about the pageant industry and how much guts these girls have to be able to come out here and do this and really put themselves out there and be judged and hopefully win the crown.
So do you feel you got lucky?
No. I earned that fair and square. No, I mean, I have been modeling my whole life. So I do feel like I had a lot of experience just, you know, putting myself out there. And just because I hadn't necessarily done the pageant type life before, I've done runway shows and modeling and all that stuff. So that definitely helped me.
Sure. Helps with your overall confidence, being on stage.
Absolutely.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it definitely showed in your scores when she was coming in first and everything pretty much.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Now, the next step is going to Miss California USA.
Mm-hmm.
How are you preparing for that?
Mentally right now, because this is so fresh to me, I'm just kind of celebrating my win. But I've been on Instagram and Facebook looking up all the Miss girls and seeing what they bring to the table. And I was actually watching TV last night, and they were on a TV show, and you know, all in the spotlight and all that stuff, which is just really cool. It seems like it's a great opportunity to be able to win something like that, which makes me even more so want to do well.
That's good to hear. And I think that's a great approach, doing a little research, knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into, so that you're better prepared when you're going on stage.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, do you have any, like, as far as like swimsuit competition, do you have any diet tricks? You know, what's important to you?
Yes, I eat very healthy. And to be honest with you, just recently this past year, I've lost a little bit of weight, which has given me a lot more confidence to go out there and do things like pageants and more modeling. So yes, diet is very, very important to me. And I've learned a lot from the gym and just being in there, taking different classes. I follow so many different inspiration, fitness, Instagram pages too. I learn a lot, so.
Because that is a portion of it is the swimsuit competition. So the girls, have to stay fit and healthy, and, along with that comes a healthy lifestyle, and you have to kind of go with that if you're going into the Miss California USA and
absolutely,
rock that swimsuit on stage the best that you can, right?
Absolutely.
And, also another thing that's important to the Miss West Coast regional pageant is, being involved with our community, reaching out to our nonprofits, and, we're already working with Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Awareness. Is there another nonprofit that you'd like to work with throughout the year?
I have always been a crazy animal lover. I'm self-proclaimed animal activist. With my Facebook page is just filled with different animals who need homes, and I'm always posting stuff about how farm animals are treated and just the food that we eat, and how a healthier lifestyle is so important to animals. So I would love a platform of mine to be something animal related. I don't have any kids yet, but I still would love to be able to inspire kids, and especially young girls who need self-esteem and stuff like that.
That's good. And we do work with Operation Blankets of Love, which is a fantastic animal rescue service here in the United States. So, we're going to be working with them a lot throughout the year as well.
Awesome. I'm very, very excited to do that.
And what's your last thing you want everyone to know about being a pageant queen? There's so many different stereotypes out there, but really when it comes down to it, how do you want to express yourself as a pageant queen?
I really want people to know that I am a real human. Like, I'm not perfect just because I'm wearing a crown, or just because I'm, prancing around in a bikini or whatever it may be. I'm real. I make mistakes. I'm just trying to do the best I can and stay positive and do it that way.
And I think that's almost good advice to tell, maybe children and young teens who are, aspiring to maybe compete in a pageant in the future, is we are not perfect as pageant queens. No. Just because we have a crown on our head doesn't mean we're this like Barbie doll walking on stage. No, we all have our flaws, and we all have things that we need to improve in our lives.
And our insecurities and all that stuff too.
So we can only do our best, and that's what I tell all my contestants going on stage. Not to feel like you're competing against anyone else up there other than yourself. Exactly. If you know you went up there and you did the best that you can, that's all you can do, is give it 110% of yourself. And I think all, the teens and the young women who won the crowns are really just, an inspiration to that, that they went out there and they did their best.
Thank you.
So congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Vanessa is our new 2014 Miss West Coast Regional Pageant winner. Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I've actually been practicing a lot for this pageant. Starting in January, actually, I started dieting and working out every evening at home, along with dancing at school. Also practicing walking, talking, interview skills. It's just taken a lot of preparation on my part, but it's been totally worth it, because when I get on stage, I'm all prepared and I know what I'm doing. So it's great. I competed in 5 pageants before Miss West Coast, but I cannot say that any of them were like Miss West Coast. I had the best time, and I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. I've been involved with the American Cancer Society for 11 years, and so I really want to keep being involved with them. They're something that is really close to home. Me and my family have been with them for 11 years, like I said, and my grandmother was actually battling cancer. That's why we got into it, and so I'd love to bring that in and work with it with the other West Coast queens. I mean, how many people can say that they get to go there and compete? I'm so excited, and I'm just gonna work my butt off to be able to do the best that I can.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Well, this is my very first pageant, and I feel honored to have placed first runner-up, because that's amazing to do for your first time. And I just had a wonderful experience, because I went up there and I felt confident, and I wasn't nervous. I mean, I was definitely nervous because it's a new experience, but I feel that you've prepared me really well, and I knew what I was doing when I was up there.
Well, good, and it showed. I mean, when I was watching you on stage, you know, she was really working it as far as her runway walk with her swimsuit and her evening gown. So I could tell that she was practicing a lot, right?
Oh my gosh, I put in like 3 hours every day after school. I would come home, put on my dress and my heels, and I would walk. And me and my mom went through so many routines, like so many combinations of different twirls and like poses, and to find out which ones worked the best. And so when I went on stage, like I knew what to do.
I believe it. She did send me some videos via text. She's like, is this walk okay? Is this pose okay? So she did work really hard, so she's very deserving of the title. And from this point forward, how are you going to prepare for the Miss California Teen USA?
Well, I'm definitely going to go through the same process. And I actually have been watching videos of the pageants, the Miss USA and the Miss Teen, just to see how the teens do their thing and see if it's any different than what we've been doing. And pretty much just, I'm always keeping a healthy diet. I don't eat junk, because junk's not good for you. But maybe a little brownie on the side sometimes. But
it's okay to cheat every once in a while.
I just always exercise. I do ballet, I play tennis, play basketball with my brother sometimes. Exercise is number one for me.
And that is very important. Like we said earlier, it's important to have a healthy lifestyle, eating right, and good fitness regimen going into the Miss California USA and the Miss California Teen USA. And tell us a little bit about, like, what kind of platform or nonprofit do you want to work with going into this?
Well, I love animals. Most importantly, I love cats. I have 2, which I adopted a couple years ago. And I'm actually extremely excited that we're working with Operations Blankets of Love, because I love animals. I've actually always had this dream of purchasing a big mansion with a huge front area and outdoor area where I could create a new revolutionary way to shelter homeless pets, where they would have owners that care for them, and they would be treated and have medical care whenever they need. And so I just love animals.
So basically luxury living.
Luxury living for pets. Yeah.
You said mansions, and I heard pets, and this sounds like a luxury living style for
It's a
these
fantasy
pets.
that I've been dreaming about.
That's cute. Well, I think you should, continue on with your passion as far as working with animals. And also, I hear that you like doing stand-up. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. I performed stand-up at the LA Improv about a year ago, and it was such an amazing experience because I got to write and perform my own routine. And it was just such a wonderful thing to do, because I realized that I could make a whole room of like 150 people laugh at my jokes. And I love making people laugh.
How did you feel that night when you were crowned?
I was so incredibly excited. I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and to be having such a team behind us and going on to Miss California USA, it's 2015, right? Yeah, 2015.
Yes, January 2015.
Yeah, it's so exciting, so incredible, and it's irreplaceable. That's how I felt.
Now, outside of being a beauty queen, what are your aspirations?
I think my main thing would be to go into marketing, because that's what I studied in school, and I'm kind of on a roll with my career right now. I manage a Tory Burch store, and I'm the youngest manager in the West Coast region, so it's been very exciting, and just going towards that. I work a lot with the Tory Burch Foundation, so that's young entrepreneurs getting a chance, a lot of young women like ourselves that want to start a business or don't have enough funds and can't get loans for something bigger. It helps them do that. So that's something I like to work towards too.
And that's very inspirational to, work with a company that has those values and really starting a foundation and kind of giving to others, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
So you get to do both, best of both worlds. And what are your plans as far as preparing for the Miss California USA?
I think my main focus has to be working out. I mean, with such a busy schedule with school and work and just like making time for friends and family. It's so hard to fit in working out. So small steps. So I would say working out, and of course, just like interview and speech. Yeah.
Interview is huge,
Yeah.
you know, in any pageant, especially with the Miss West Coast and the Miss California USA.
Right.
That you're pretty much, you know, setting the tone for the entire competition. It's
Right.
your first impression interview, you know, so you're being interviewed by all the judges in a panel set where all, you know, the judges are sitting there in a panel, and one by one they get to ask you a question, right?
Intimidating, yes.
So
Yes.
it can be nerve-wracking, and that's one thing that we work on together is how to handle the stress and how to listen to the questions and respond correctly and the best to your ability, right?
And stay calm.
And stay calm. Yes,
Right.
that's a good tip. So going into the Miss West Coast judge interviews, how did you feel?
To be honest, at first I was a little bombarded. So I was like, oh, there's going to be a couple of judges, and you walk into a room and you're just center stage with all these people spread out. It's so intimidating, but you know what? This is what helps us grow. And win or lose, I feel like it's a life skill. So going on towards your career, to your real life after Miss California, it's just such a good stepping stone. So I feel like it's important regardless. And all of these things and all of these tools that we learned through Miss West Coast and through our team, it's so important. So.
And I asked that because I want viewers to know that being a pageant title holder is not just about standing on stage and being beautiful. It's about having life skills that we need in our everyday life. You know, learning how to do interviews is very important, how to get a job, how to impress people, being a model and actress, which a lot of the young ladies are. Those are all very important skills. And just, you know, and then obviously all our nonprofit work that we do. I mean, if you can carry those values with you throughout your life, really, it's only going to make you grow as a person. So I really want all the viewers to know that these gorgeous women here today that we have interviewed are amazing and inspirational, but they're so much more than pretty faces. They really have good hearts, and they're out there to help others. Thank you, Alice and Kim, our Miss South Bay 2014 winner, and we'll be finding out what the results are in January of 2015.